The final round of interviews was conducted personally by the female CEO. The first thing the stunning CEO said was, "Marry me. Be my lover." I stared, stunned. Ma'am, I'm here for a job interview, not a blind date." The beautiful CEO held my gaze, insistent. "Put it another way. The position is CEO's husband. Job duties, personal life assistant to the CEO. 200,000 yuan a month, plus a substantial year-end bonus. Interested?" I hesitated for exactly 1 second. "Yes, thank you for the opportunity, boss." 1 year into the marriage, my childhood female friend told me with a snicker, "You look exactly like the CEO's dead first love. You're just a stand-in for a dead guy." It clicked for me right away. "Dude, do you know where that guy's grave is?" "What? You gonna dig it up?" "Nay, I'm gonna go kowtow to him." In the small living room of the Tang family villa, I pushed my friend's teasing baby faced grin away and went back to sipping my afternoon tea slowly. My friend grew anxious. "Don't you get it? You're just a replacement for a dead man. You're nothing but a kept dog for that rich woman." I nodded calmly. "I get it. Being even a little like that first love is my good fortune. Dude, I just want to move up in the world. Okay?" My shameless frankness made her throw a fit. "How can you be so calm? Where's your sense of crisis?" I raised an eyebrow and spoke slowly. "It's been over a year since we got married. No, over a year since I took the job. Room and board all covered, full monthly salary on time, year-end bonus over $1 million. This past year I've barely done any real work, and I've already saved up a few million." My friend looked confused. So? Having my own money is the only real lasting sense of security. Besides, it's her ex. Who's dead, not the wife who pays me. Why would I feel threatened? She was stumped, her eyes darting around as she tried to come up with a comeback. After a moment of silence, something occurred to me. "Dude, can you look up where that first love guy is buried?" A flicker of excitement crossed her face. "What? You gonna dig him up?" "Nay, I'm gonna go pay my respects. Kowtow to him." She blew up instantly. "Shen Nian, you have absolutely no shame." I didn't like that one bit. I shot right back. "What, you think I should turn down money just to save face? Look at my life now. Get paid to do basically nothing, make millions a year. What's so bad about being a kept dog?" My sincere question left her completely speechless. She huffed off in a huff. I went back to my tea. The news she'd brought meant nothing to me. I was here to do a job, not actually be her real husband. I thought back to my old life, slaving away at some tiny company, fat, useless bosses calling me at midnight saying they needed a dragon fruit report by morning. What a nightmare. Back then I worked like a horse for pennies. Now I'm a dog making bank. What's wrong with that? A few days later, in the banquet hall of the Tang Villa, the party was in full swing. I was the one who'd organized the reception, maintaining connections in wealthy social circles. Through events like this was one of my actual job duties as the CEO's husband. When a room is full of men, the conversation inevitably drifts to gossip and scandal sooner or later. "Hey guys, check this video out. Famous female CEO caught cheating at a hotel." "Yeah, saw it. Dropped this morning. 99% sure it's her." "Wild stuff," a few rich young heirs said in sleazy, teasing tones, glancing over at me every now and then on purpose. My chest tightened, but I kept my cool and said casually, "Oh? Who is it?" They exchanged weird looks, barely hiding their schadenfreude, and tossed out the name like it was nothing. "Tang Wanyi. Your wife, I think." The air went dead still. Even I wasn't slow enough to miss what was going on. In a city as big as Shanghai, how many famous female CEOs could there be? The first one that came to mind was Tang Wanyi, CEO of Huxiang Group, my wife. This was the first major work crisis I'd faced since taking the job, and it had hit out of nowhere. Breathe. Stay calm. I pulled out my phone and looked up the video. The video said a famous female entrepreneur had been caught cheating at a hotel. Got into a fight with the people who caught her, and ended up bleeding. I skimmed through it, thinking fast. A moment later I looked up, meeting all the gawking, mocking stares head on. I twirled my phone lightly in my hand and said scornfully, "This garbage quality video, and they actually have the nerve to post it? Media these days will do anything for clicks. Shameless." As I spoke, I handed the phone casually to the Tang family's old butler. Uncle Mai, the Tang family has always kept a low profile, but that doesn't mean random trash gets to spread lies about us. Get the legal team and PR team on it. Compile the information, preserve the evidence, everything. Make sure everyone knows. You don't get to drag the Tang family's name through the mud. And you don't get to leech off us for clout. Uncle Mai took the phone at once and bowed slightly. "Right away, sir. I'll handle it." He'd served the Tang family for years, and it showed. He played along perfectly. I stood tall and scanned the room. The guests looked sheepish. My sharp, pointed remarks had saved the situation from getting completely out of hand. The party ended early. The guests left one by one, all wearing amused, knowing looks, leaving the mess and the faint taste of schadenfreude behind. I stood at the front door of the villa waiting for my CEO wife to come home. I wasn't putting on some lovesick act, and I definitely wasn't planning to interrogate her. Anyone who's ever slaved away at a job knows the #1 rule of workplace survival: doing the work matters, but making sure your boss sees you doing it matters more. After this mess today, the least I could do was show face in front of my boss. By evening, Tang Wanyi's car finally arrived. She looked exhausted and seemed surprised to see me waiting by the door. "Something wrong?" "Nothing. Just waiting for you." My tone was calm and gentle. "Tired? Bath is already drawn, perfect temperature. Towels and bathrobe are ready, all UV sterilized. Dinner will be plated soon. I'll open a bottle of red wine first. By the time you're done washing up, it'll be perfectly decanted, just what you need to unwind." My steady stream of small details left her a little stunned. "Huh? Oh? All right." I didn't say a single word about anything else. In the dining room, Tang Wenyi ate quietly, and I sat a little ways away, keeping her company in silence. Suddenly she looked up at me and spoke softly. "Uncle Mai told me what happened at the reception today. You handled it very well." I kept my face completely neutral. Just doing my job. Inside I was cheering for Uncle Mai. "Nice one, Uncle Mai." Perfect. With that, my KPI was met. For the next little while I could go right back to my easy, well-paid life with a clear conscience. The dining room fell quiet again. Tang Wanyi picked up her glass of red wine, sipped it, and spoke almost to herself. "I did go to the hotel this morning. It was a scheduled business event for the company. When it was over and we were leaving, a group of people showed up out of nowhere yelling about catching someone cheating. They threw some kind of red liquid at us. We called the police, and this afternoon we went to the hospital to get checked out just to be safe." I heard every word, but I said nothing. I wasn't touching that topic with a 10-foot pole. I was just an employee. What kind of idiot would get mixed up in their boss's personal drama? But after a moment her gaze settled on me and I had to say something. You don't have to explain any of this to me, right?" Tang Wanyi frowned. "You're my husband. People are spreading lies about me cheating. Aren't you even a little jealous?" I blurted out before I could stop myself. "I'm just your employee. Why would I be jealous of my own boss? That would be ridiculous." She set down her glass, gave me a sharp, beautiful eye roll, and walked away. But it wasn't over yet. That same night, a package was delivered to my room. It was an elegant dark green gift box tied with an emerald ribbon. I had no idea who could have sent it, so I just opened it. Inside were several pieces of women's clothing. To be precise, a plain custom-tailored women's business suit made of high-end fabric, and several pairs of underwear, a bra, stockings, all intimate personal items. All of it had clearly been worn. It was crumpled like it had been through something intense, and there were faint white stains on the fabric. A card tucked inside the box read, "Things got a little intense with Ms. Tang last time, and her clothes got dirty by accident. Please wash them for me, Mr. Shen." What was this supposed to mean? The package was definitely addressed to me, and the clothes were clearly my CEO wife's. If Tang Wanyi and I were a real married couple, this box would have been absolutely devastating. What was inside and the message it sent would have gotten under any husband's skin. But here's the thing. My job as CEO's husband was just a title, a decoration. Sending a lowly employee like me a box of his beautiful boss's underwear? Was this some kind of weird bonus? I pushed that twisted thought aside. I wasn't stupid. Someone was clearly trying to stir up trouble. It was too late to go to Tang Wanyi about it directly. I picked up the box and went to find Uncle Mai. I knew my place. Some things were way above my pay grade. The next day my friend seemed to have cooled down and came to see me again. This time she brought a big jug of homemade rice wine from our hometown. She held her phone right up to my face, playing a video. Your wife's got someone else. The video was titled, Famous Female Entrepreneur, Allegedly Framed, Wealthy Heir of the Su Family Stands by Her Side. The gist of it was that Xu Ziwei, the young master of the Su family, had issued a statement saying he trusted Tang Wanyi's character, would stand firmly by her side, and strongly condemned the rumor. Mongers. I calmly told the kitchen to send over a few home-style dishes, opened the jug of rice wine, and invited my childhood friend to eat and drink with me. Say something, will you? My friend huffed, getting anxious again. I sighed helplessly. Su Ziwei has had his eye on Tang Wanyi for ages. This whole rumor thing is the perfect chance for him to score points with her. Right now he's just a peacock showing off his tail. It'd be weirder if he didn't strut around a little. So, you don't mind? She asked, confused. Oh, I had plenty to say about that. Rule number 2 of workplace survival, only chase money, not romance. I cleared my throat and explained to her patiently. You said it yourself, I'm just a stand-in. My whole purpose is to make her miss her first love and feel that bittersweet what-if regret. As a decent stand-in, looking 3 parts like him and acting 3 parts like him is more than enough. As long as the money's good, I'm basically a life-sized figurine of her first love. And I'm fine with that. Why would I give up easy money just to snoop on my boss's love life? I'm not an idiot. After my little speech, she went quiet and drank her wine in sullen silence. We sat there in the dining room, eating and drinking quietly. Halfway through, something occurred to me, something important. I quickly got up, found a porcelain bottle, poured the last of the rice wine into it, and sealed it up tight. What are you doing? My friend asked, bewildered. I shrugged. Saving some as a gift for my wife, the CEO. That rich woman of yours would even bother with this stuff? Of course she wouldn't. But whether she accepts it is her business. Whether I give it to her is mine. I went on explaining patiently. You're my childhood friend, basically family coming to visit with a hometown specialty. As her husband, the least I can do is offer her a little something. Even if she doesn't take it, I can give it to the butler or the staff. Dude, it's all about keeping up appearances. She curled her lip. You're getting more and more housewife-y by the day. Damn right, I replied breezily, ignoring her sarcasm. That casual answer only made her angrier. Shen Yan, cut the crap and talk straight. I was starting to get annoyed too. Taojia, what do you want me to say? You want me to join you in bad-mouthing my own wife? Right, my name is Shen Yan, and my childhood friend is Taojia. I kept going. Do you have any idea who I am right now? I'm paid by the Tang family, I eat their food, I live in their house. And you think I should get drunk and start talking trash about them? Dude, you gotta have some decency. Teach Chich. She clicked her tongue and said nothing more. The rice wine wasn't strong, but it had a lingering kick. Before long she was glassy-eyed and drunk. She slumped over the table, propping her round cheeks in her hands, and started slurring nonsense. Shen Yan, do you really like being a kept man that much? Why don't you come live with my family? We're not poor. 2 factories, 3 apartments, a whole building we rent out. Be my little kept dog. Big sister'll take care of you. Whoa! I thought we were brothers, and here she was thirsting after me? The corner of my mouth twitched. I didn't dare respond. Who knew how much of what she was saying was real? She mumbled a few more things, then passed out completely. I breathed a sigh of relief, and looked at the girl I'd grown up with. She'd filled out nicely these past few years, curvy in all the right places. Her body was all grown up, even if her baby face still made her look young. I couldn't leave her here. I'd have to take her to my room first. I lifted her into my arms, then hefted her over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes. I grabbed the bottle of rice wine with my other hand and headed for the door. One hand on the wine bottle, one hand hauling my friend like a dead weight, I stumbled out of the dining room. Then I froze. A whole group of people was blocking the doorway. At the front of them was none other than my beautiful CEO wife, Tang Wanyi. Tang Wanyi's face was as impassive as ever, but the assistants and butlers around her all looked deeply awkward. She glanced at me once, then turned on her heel, leaving only one line behind her. Warm up the rice wine. I don't drink it cold. Oh no. She'd heard us. The question was, how much had she heard? For the next month, life went back to normal. For the next month, life went back to normal. I went right back to my favorite routine, lying low and slacking off. Then one day, the gate guard came running over in a hurry. Sir, there's a young girl outside asking to see Ms. Tang. She looks a lot like you, Ms. Tang isn't here right now. What would you like me to do? Full of confusion, I followed the guard to the gate to see the girl. She was right. The girl's features did look a little like mine. I was positive I didn't have any relatives like her, not even distant ones. The girl stared at me blankly for a second, then threw herself into my arms, sobbing and calling me brother. That's when it clicked. She didn't look like me. She looked like Tang Wanyi's dead first love. This girl was his little sister. I realized right away, this was work. Big, important work. Rule number 3 of workplace survival. If your boss cares about someone, you care about them even more than your boss does. And if I had any doubt whether my boss cared about this girl, one look at the photo of her first love on her desk would answer that. That day I spent a small fortune. The girl had come begging for help because her parents were seriously ill, and she had nowhere else to turn. I paid all their medical bills up front. Then I took her out for meals, bought her clothes, everything she needed. At the end of it all, I made one small request of her. That afternoon, I stood in front of the first love's grave in the cemetery. I was carrying a Luyang shovel, and then I got to work filling in the soil and tidying up the grave. Why a Luyang shovel? Blame my wonderful friend Taojia. I'd just asked her to get me a few tools for grave tending, but when she found out whose grave I was visiting, she showed up with a hoe and a Luyang shovel. She even asked if I needed an excavator. Ooh, that girl's got a few screws loose. I wasn't cleaning his grave on a whim. I knew what I looked like, fine-boned, pleasant, but far from handsome. And just because I looked a little like this guy, I was making a living off my face. So to me, this guy was my patron saint, my lucky charm, my benefactor. If I didn't come pay my respects, I'd feel guilty. Taking millions a year for doing basically nothing. That evening, I brought the girl back to the Tang villa. Tang Wanyi rushed home as soon as she heard the news, and pulled the girl into a tight hug the second she saw her. Watching that, I knew I'd bet right. Sure enough, first thing the next morning, I was called into Tang Wanyi's office. Her voice was a little rough. I heard about everything you did yesterday. Thank you. I could tell she was upset and off her game, so I jumped in quickly. It was nothing, ma'am. Actually, there's something I need to ask you about. What is it? Go ahead. I pulled a thick stack of receipts out of my pocket. Yesterday, between surgery fees, medicine, nursing care, meals, new clothes, plus the funeral supplies, total comes to 387,200 yuan. All receipts are here. I was wondering if you could reimburse me? I'll do the work, but working for free? Absolutely not. Tang Wanyi froze. A moment later, her breathing seemed to deepen. Understood. Now get out. I was ushered out of the office. Half an hour later, my bank balance went up by 1 million yuan. Now that's more like it. Love a boss who's generous. When it rains, it pours. People usually say that about periods, but it works just as well for workplace drama. A few days later, another gift box showed up in front of me. Emerald ribbon, dark green box, exactly like the last one. This time it was even more outrageous. Inside was a set of women's underwear and a used condom. There was still a card. It read, "Thanks for stepping aside, Mr. Shen. We'll each do our own thing." I frowned, thoroughly confused. Something was off. Very off. If Tang Wanyi and I were a real deeply in love couple, sending this stuff would make sense. It would be the perfect way to stir up trouble. But come on, I'm just a figurehead, a useless husband in name only. Why send this to me? What's the point of messing with a placeholder? There was something really fishy going on here. I picked up the box, walked out, and headed straight for the boss. Soon enough, both dark green gift boxes were sitting on Tang Wanyi's desk. Ms. Tang, that's the gist of it. After the first box arrived, I gave it to Uncle Mai, and asked him to run forensic tests on the clothes, check for chemicals, extract hair samples, everything. This is the report. I handed her a file. The report was long, but the key points were simple. 1. The clothes did all belong to Tang Wanyi. 2. The items had not been worn at the same time. 3. Several pieces had been washed, pressed, then deliberately aged, crumpled, stained, made to look used. A few hadn't been worn in years. In short, the whole set had been deliberately collected and assembled over a long period of time. Tang Wanyi read the report carefully. Her face was thunderous, but her voice was eerily calm. Uncle Mai, find out who did this. Few people in wealthy families are fools. For something this elaborate, there's only one explanation: an outsider colluding with an inside mole. But that's above my pay grade. I'll just go back to being my usual decorative self. 2 weeks later, several wardrobe stewards of the Tang family were detained and handed over to the police. After that, more than a dozen people, personal attendants, cleaning staff, security guards, drivers, and others, were fired and replaced. Another month later, the Su family of Shanghai went bankrupt. Su Ziwei, the Su family heir, was held accountable for multiple suspected illegal acts. The Shu family paid a huge price just to keep him out of prison. In the end, the entire Su family vanished entirely from Shanghai. When I heard all this, I knew Su Ziwei had been the mastermind behind everything. I wasn't exactly surprised, but I was in a terrible mood about it. I really wanted to find that guy and tell him straight. Young Master Su, you've got me all wrong. Everyone in the Tang family is near and dear to me. If you want me to leave, you're gonna have to pay me more. I mean, you went to all that trouble just to get under my skin, humiliate me, and force me out of the Tang family. Too bad I care way more about money than I do about face. Must have cost a fortune to bribe all those people, huh? Thinking about it made me want to bang my head on the floor and wail. Did it never occur to you to just bribe me with all that money? I'm not greedy. I'm easy to satisfy. Slip me a few tens of millions to buy out my contract, and I'd pack my bags and be gone before you know it. Make room for whoever you want. Seriously, the whole thing's such a waste. I get humiliated and I don't even get paid for it. Feels like I missed out on 100 million. My sadness is immeasurable. The gift box fiasco died down, and the Tang family successfully rooted out the moles and outside conspirators. Then came the reward for everyone who'd helped. In recognition of your contributions to the Tang family, your monthly salary will be adjusted to 300,000 yuan. There's also an additional 2 million yuan bonus, which will be deposited today. If you have any other requests, you can bring them up directly. Hearing Tang Wanyi's offer, I could barely keep the grin off my face. Stop smiling, hold it together, have some dignity. No, nothing. Thank you, Ms. Tang. If you don't need anything else, I'll head out first. I wanted to run off somewhere private and celebrate. Wait, you. But Tang Wanyi called out to me suddenly, then just stared at me, stunned. She looked at me in silence long enough that I started to feel uneasy. After a long while, she spoke softly. Shen Nian, you're an outstanding person. We could try being a real married couple. A real family? This time it was my turn to stare at her, dumbfounded. I thought it over carefully, sorting through my feelings. After a long time I gave her my answer. Ms. Tang, if you're being serious, I have to say no. Oh, why? Ms. Tang, we've been married for almost 2 years, but really I've just been working for the Tang family for 2 years. Tang Wanyi nodded, agreeing, and gestured for me to go on. The truth is, we're not right for each other as husband and wife. From your side, after 2 years together, you might have grown fond of me. But how much of that fondness is just nostalgia for my face, and how much is just comfort from having an obedient, competent employee. At the end of the day, how much of it is actually liking me, Shen Nian, for who I am? And from my side? I feel obligated to you as my benefactor. I respect you as my boss. And of course I'm attracted to you as a beautiful, wealthy woman. Take all that away, and how much is really genuine affection for you, Tang Wanyi, as a person? Tang Wanyi fell silent. I sighed heavily. Tang Wanyi, I can't fix the regret in your heart. I'm not the person you lost. I'm just his shadow. Even if you marry the shadow, even if you get a few moments of false comfort, it won't undo the past or fix what you missed. All those things you never got to say, never got to have, can never get back. I can't fill that hole. Tang Wanyi's eyes were reddening, but I knew I had to say this plainly. With all this tangled history between us, we shouldn't be husband and wife. So let's not make each other miserable over it. Tang Wanyi was quiet for a very long time. Finally she spoke, quiet and distant. I understand. I overstepped. If there's nothing else, you can go. For a long time after that, everything was calm. Just when I thought I could coast along as a kept man in the Tang family forever, fate threw me a curveball out of nowhere. One day my childhood friend Dao Jia walked right out of Tang Wanyi's office. Dao Jia's eyes were red and she kept sniffling. Tang Wanyi walked her out herself, even patted her head gently and spoke softly to comfort her. That bizarre scene almost blew my mind. When Dao Jia saw me, she just rolled her eyes, huffed proudly, and strode off. Tang Wanyi gave me a meaningful look, then turned and walked away. Knowing that girl, she was definitely up to no good. Sure enough, 3 days later in the CEO's office, a divorce agreement was placed in front of me. I flipped through the terms. The Tang family was giving me a house, a car, and 5 million yuan in compensation. It was an extremely generous deal. I looked up and got straight to the point. Miss Tang, what exactly did that girl Dao Jia say to you? Tang Wanyi had a faint smile on her lips, her tone calm and even. A lot of things. But one thing she said, I think she was right. Shen Nian, you're a good person. But you're not mine. You're hers, so sign it. That out-of-nowhere answer left me totally confused. But it was too late to argue about it. I picked up the agreement, signed my name, and ended our 2-plus-year marriage. A month later, the divorce was finalized, and I was a free man again. I got the house, the car, and the compensation money just as promised. With my small bag of luggage, I quietly went back to my hometown. Then I headed straight for Dao Jia's house. I burst in, kicking her bedroom door open. When she saw it was me, she dove under the covers, leaving only her butt sticking out. I smacked that, but without mercy, yelling as I did. Dao Jia, did I do something to you? Why'd you have to ruin my cash cow? Her voice was muffled under the covers as she shot back. If you never got divorced, when would it be my turn? We grew up together. I was there first. What made you go off and marry someone else? That morning you said you were going to a job interview, and you came back saying you were marrying some woman. What normal person does that? I froze when I heard that. Yeah, fair. That whole situation was pretty crazy, even for me. I sat cross-legged on her bed and thought for a second. Dao Jia, remember when you said you'd keep me? Come on. Let's negotiate the terms. This story follows a male protagonist who accidentally becomes a female CEO's nominal husband, acting as a stand-in for her late beloved. He stays sober-minded, seeing his position essentially as a job and refusing to be confused by vanity or ambiguous affection. Faced with traps and temptations, he keeps to his duty and rejects turning the substitute arrangement into a real marriage. It teaches us to know our own position and not be dazzled by material benefits. We should rationally separate reality from illusory feelings. Love cannot heal inner regret through a stand-in, and an identity gained by relying on others is fragile. Stay true to yourself and draw a clear line between interests and emotions to make responsible choices for yourself.